Good morning. I'm Heather Van Veen. I'm the program coordinator for RNIP, for Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program here in North Bay. So this is a live stream. It's mostly intended for applicants. That's what this one is geared towards. So if you're an applicant and you want to hop on and ask any questions, you are more than welcome to. If I don't know the answer, you can always just send the question to our website, and you can put the question in there, send it off, and I will get it, and I will look up the question or look up the answer, and I will respond with the answer as soon as I can. So I'll just wait till people hop on and join. And I'll try and answer as many questions as possible, but I know there's probably going to be a lot. We don't help out with job offers, or I don't. Job search, finding a job for yourself in Canada, is the responsibility is up to you. But we do have a website, www.northbayrnip.ca, and there are jobs posted on our website, and if those don't fit your criteria, then you can also find jobs anywhere. It doesn't have to be specific jobs, like jobs that are specific towards RNIP. They can be anything. And if you are a graduate of school, post-secondary school, yes, you can apply. That means you are exempt from the work experience, because in order to apply for RNIP, you need to have work experience, 1 year of full-time work experience in the field related to your job offer. So if you have completed post-secondary, then you are exempt from the work experience requirement. I see lots of people joining in, so that's awesome. And yes, if you haven't heard about our website, it's www.northbayrnip.ca. So the different communities that are participating in the RNIP program, they have different jobs that they're trying to fill. So in North Bay, we are not in need of filling food positions, so jobs that are in fast food. We are taking applicants in food that have a Red Seal trade for food as a cook. So yes, if you have your Red Seal trade certificate as a cook, you can apply. So we're not doing fast food, and we're also not doing retail, only because we don't really have a problem filling those positions ourselves within North Bay. What are the percentage ratio of hiring from outside of Canada? Most of our applicants right now have been inside of Canada, but that doesn't mean if you're outside of Canada that you can't apply. You can absolutely apply. That obviously would just take a bit longer for the process. Administrative field, yes, we are accepting those positions for the North Bay RNIP program. So if you're looking for work in administration, then absolutely look for jobs in administration, and that will be an in for you for the program. And just because, so if you're given, if North Bay gives you a recommendation letter, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a given ticket for permanent residency. It's just because IRCC is the last person to say yes or no. Technical support, yes, that would be one for RNIP as well in North Bay. Project coordinators and management, yep, that would be one as well. And if you're unsure of the jobs that are eligible for the North Bay RNIP program, if you go to the North Bay RNIP website, and at the top you'll see FAQ, so frequently asked questions. The second tab, it says what sectors will be hiring skilled foreign workers, and that says all of the positions that are eligible for the North Bay RNIP program. With that said, if you don't find what you're looking for in this list, still apply, just because we do have an open not category, which means if your position doesn't fit under the other ones, we can also put you under there. We only have a max of 10 applicants, so obviously it's pretty small. So try and look on the other categories. So you have more than 7 years experience of administration. How do you apply? You just look online. I'm not sure if you're in North Bay or in Canada or outside of Canada, but just look online for jobs. Indeed, Job Bank, Workopolis, there's a whole bunch of different job search engines. You can find administration jobs on there and hopefully find a job in administration and be offered a job through an employer. Do you need to have a master's? No, you don't even have to have post-secondary. All you need in order to apply for RNIP is Canadian equivalency of high school, so your secondary school diploma. What if you're certified in a field but don't have much work experience? So you have to have at least 1 year's full-time work experience in a field related to the job that you're being offered. If you don't have 1 year's work experience, you either need to wait, or if you've gone to post-secondary school related to your job offer, that can get you exempt from the 1 year work experience. And somebody's looking for work in NOC 1311, which is accounting and bookkeeping. So that's definitely another category for the North Bay RNIP program. Like I mentioned before, just job search online for jobs in North Bay. And once you find one, apply for it. Hopefully you hear from the employer and hopefully you are offered a job. And also I want to mention that you should have a cover letter for any job that you're applying to. And in that cover letter, you can always mention that you're applying through the North Bay RNIP program. And if they ever want to reach out to myself, they can just email on the website, and they can just mention that they're an employer and they have a potential candidate and they just want to talk about the program. Does tech boot camps matter? I don't really know what you mean by tech boot camps, but I'm going to say no. Do we need to be good at French? In order to apply for the RNIP program, you need to take a language test. And that language test is either in French or English, whichever you are better at, whichever you prefer. So you don't need to be good at French. If you're better in English, you can take the English test. What are the requirements to apply? That's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of requirements. The biggest one is you need to be offered a job in North Bay. And once you are offered a job, kind of everything else falls into place. All depends on if you're inside Canada or outside of Canada. If you're outside of Canada, you have to have enough settlement funds to come here. If you are inside Canada, then you need to take, and this is also for outside of Canada, you need to take a language test. You need to have your educational credential assessment done, which tells us that you have a minimum Canadian high school equivalency. Or if you've done post-secondary school in Canada, then you don't need the ECA, the Educational Credential Assessment. And then the job offer, like I mentioned, and another form you will have to fill out for yourself. So there's two forms, the IMM 5911, which is the Schedule 1, which the applicant would fill out, and the IMM 5984, which is what the employer would fill out, which is the offer of employment. If we don't have a settlement fund, can we get a sponsor to cover us? I'm not sure about RNIP itself. I'm pretty sure you need to have the settlement funds, but just email that question to our website and I will inquire just to confirm, and I will get back to you on that question. Do you need to get a job first before applying? You can start your profile, your candidate profile, on our website, but the application process is not complete until you have a job offer. So in order to complete your application, yes, you need to have a job offer. And like I mentioned, on our website, we have the FAQ up at the top. So if you go to our website, northbayrnip.ca, and you go to the FAQs at the top, there's some questions, frequently asked questions that you might be wondering. So if you don't get the answer here, you can always find it on our website. So what website would I advise to search for jobs? First, go to the northbayrnip.ca website, because those are guaranteed jobs for the North Bay RNIP program that I've already approved. If those jobs do not fit your criteria that you're looking for, then I would always suggest Indeed and Job Bank. Those are the two that I always suggest. But there's many that you can always search and find jobs on. Does all this info apply for Latin Americans? Yes, this is worldwide. You're from Lebanon, can you apply? Yes, this is worldwide, so anybody, if you're in Canada, if you're outside of Canada, you can apply. If you're outside of Canada, it will probably take longer just to get the ball rolling, the process going. but it's starting to get better just with borders opening up, so that time frame is closing in a bit. And then if you are interested in applying, you can go to our website, northbayrnip.ca, and at the top there's applicants, and that is where you would start your profile, your candidate profile. And then you submit all your things, and I'll get the notification once you submit it all, and I'll look it over. I got 7 on your IELTS. Do you know if that would work? So when you do your language test, it's all depending on your job offer and the skill level of that job offer. So if you have a 7 in IELTS, you're guaranteed the maximum that we need is a 6 for any job, even the highest job. So if you have a 7, then you're okay for any jobs. Skill level C is a 4 that you need for your CLB, which is the same in IELTS. The CELPIP is the same for IELTS or for CLB. IELTS is typically 1 level less. So if you have a 7 in IELTS, then you most likely have around a 6, which you're fine. But yeah, so if you have a skill level C job offer, you'd need a 4, a CLB 4. And CLB stands for Canadian Level Benchmark. And if you have a skill level B job offer, then it's a 5. And if you have a skill level A or O, then it's a 6. We don't really go by a score for RNIP. That's different. That's for different immigration permanent residency programs. So for us, we don't really go by scores. You're a student now and you'll finish your course by December. Can you create your profile now? You can create your profile now, or you can start it, but I would suggest starting it once you have everything, just because you're, I don't really need to see anything until you have everything. So if you start it in December, once you've gotten your course completed, then that's the best time to do it. Because if you submit everything, then I can look it over completely, and I can contact you if you need to change things or add things. And once we do that, then I will contact you for an interview, just a short little interview. And I do that with everyone. And it's just to see if you're kind of eligible for the program, if you're suitable for the program. And then once I have completed the interview, then I bring each applicant's file to our committee. We have a committee in North Bay, and they are ultimately the people who decide if you're going to get your recommendation or not. And if you do get a recommendation, that's when you can send everything out to IRCC. There's a checklist, IMM 5987, that you need to make sure you have everything on it. Some things you need copies. Some things you need originals, so just make sure you have everything that you're supposed to have to send out to IRCC. IRCC, the address is in Nova Scotia in Canada. So I always suggest for individuals to get a tracking number so that they can track it. They can make sure it got there. I've had the odd time where people have had to check just to make sure it did get there. And yeah, you can just track it easier. And also on the envelope, just make sure it states that it is for RNIP, because there's many different PR programs, so we just want to make sure it goes to the right pile. All I need is a Bachelor of Science, IELTS, and fund to get permanent residency. You don't need a Bachelor of Science. You can just have high school. But if you have Bachelor of Science, that's awesome. Yes, you do need language tests. It doesn't have to be IELTS. It can be a CELPIP. And if you're outside of Canada, yes, you need to have the correct amount of settlement funds. You also need a job offer. That's definitely the most important in order to apply. What's the minimum settlement funds? It all depends on how many dependents you have. If it's just yourself, I believe it's about $8,000 right now. But you can find it online through IRCC or through our website. It's pretty easy to find. And I see a comment, I'm gay. I don't know if that's an honest comment, but we don't discriminate here in Canada. So if you're gay, apply. If you're not, apply. If you have 7 dependents, I'm not sure. I would have to look it up. So if you have 7 dependents, that would be $24,000. Do you think it's more important your English skills or what the job is specifically looking for? Well, you need to have the correct language skills for the job that you're being offered, and that's just a test that you need to take. So it's simple results that you'd get. Or what the job is specifically looking for. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but if you find a job that you're interested in, you obviously have to have the correct requirements or credentials that the employer is looking for. Can you start a job application can you start your application before you find a job offer? You can, but it's not going to really get you ahead. So I always suggest for people to kind of do it all at once, just so when I see applications, it's just everything. Because I do see a lot of applications that are not completed, and it's mainly the job offer that they don't have. Can you apply for jobs while you're outside of Canada? Absolutely. Sometimes it's harder to secure employment when you're outside of Canada, but definitely keep applying. And like I mentioned before, in your cover letter, I always suggest to have a cover letter when you're applying for a job, and when you do write your cover letter, you can always write that you're applying through the RNIP, the North Bay RNIP program. And if the employer has any questions, I'm always open to answering. So they can email the North Bay RNIP website page, and I will be glad to answer their questions. Can I work and study at the same time with the program? I think there's a minimum or a maximum amount of hours that you can work if you're a student. I would have to confirm on that. So just email that question to our website and I will confirm. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's no more than 20 hours. Is there an amount to be paid for job application on our site? Nope, it's all free. The only payment you have to pay is once you finally send in your application to IRCC. What about investor visa to open IT company? What are the requirements? That's not really what we deal with for RNIP. So you'd have to inquire somewhere else for that. So somebody just said they know it's 20 hours, so for working and going to school as well. So there's that answer. What's the website? Our website is www.northbayrnip.ca. And that's where you can find all the information. That's where you can find job offers through North Bay RNIP. That's where you can find, or that's where you can start your candidate profile and your application and completely submit it. There are employers that will take employees for 20 hours a week, only lots of them. In 6 months, you finish university. How can you come to Canada? You would have to apply for a work permit and find employment. You've been applying and nothing until now. Yeah, like I mentioned before, sometimes it is hard to find answers from employers when you're applying, but I just keep encouraging applicants to apply to jobs, and you'll eventually hear something. Do you know some of the provinces you apply to without paying for applications? Any program for RNIP, you have to pay once you apply through IRCC. If you go to our page, once I'm done this live video, you can find the link on our videos. We have videos for North Bay RNIP. I don't know the amount for applying to IRCC, just because I don't deal on that end. That's IRCC's side, so I don't know the actual amount to apply. So the link for our website is www.northbayrnip.ca. I'll write it down, but it's probably going to be backwards, but I'll try. So that's the, yeah, it's backwards. But anyways, that's the website. If you can see, yeah, somebody wrote it in the comments, so that's the website. Other universities will allow you to pay during your program. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. And if you don't know the knock of any jobs that you're looking for, you can always go on our website and there's a link that will bring you to find the knock of jobs that you're looking for. And knock stands for National Occupation Classification. I work in the power industry. Any hope of moving my family to Canada? Yeah, absolutely. Just look for employment in the power industry. Do we help people in getting job offers? Unfortunately, I don't recruit. So no, I don't help with finding applicants job offers. That's the responsibility of the applicant. So I mentioned before, on our website, you can, there's an employment section up at the top. So if you go to our website, you will see the employment tab up at the top. If you click that, there are a list of jobs, and they're always changing. So right now we have a kitchen cabinet sander and finisher. We have HVAC mechanic. We have residential refrigeration technician. We have a gas fitter, and we have a fuel attendant. So those are the jobs we have right now on our website. But I also mentioned before that if they're not of any interest to you, or if they don't fit your criteria for what you're looking for, you can find jobs anywhere. It doesn't have to be necessarily on our website. They can be on Indeed, they can be on our job bank, they can be anywhere. Just within North Bay. And also I should mention, if you are applying for jobs, then it has to be within a 45-kilometer radius of North Bay. So just be sure that when you're looking for jobs, it is in that radius, because if it's not, then they're not eligible for our program. The communities that 45-kilometer radius includes, it's North Bay, Callander, Powassan, East Ferris, Bonfield, West Nipissing, and some other smaller unorganized townships. So if you're looking for jobs, just make sure they're in those communities or North Bay itself. Is there a job for hospitality management? We don't have any jobs for that right now, but there might be jobs posted online in hospitality management, so definitely check online. And also, it's taking up to 12 months to get permanent residency right now. So RNIP is just a quicker pathway to individuals getting their PR. So definitely RNIP is a good choice. And I'll just answer the FAQs that are on our website quickly. What sectors will be hiring skilled foreign workers? That was that list of not categories that I mentioned. So if you see a job in these categories, these specific categories, then it's definitely jobs that North Bay RNIP will accept. What is the process for the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program? There's a big chart pretty much from step 1 to the end of how to get your permanent residency. And what about nurses? Do you have any availability? How does that process work? We don't have any specific jobs listed on our website for nurses, but with that said, North Bay is always looking for nurses. The only thing is it's hard to get. So in order to apply for RNIP, you need to have a job offer that is permanent and full-time. And in North Bay, it's hard to get permanent full-time nursing positions. But once you do secure one, then absolutely apply for the program. But also, even if you do have a job as a nurse that is not full-time, not permanent, you can still work that job, gain experience, and then hopefully in time they will offer you a full-time permanent position, and then you can apply for the program. Also, we were allowed 100 candidates to accept, to recommend, and now we've been allowed 150 applicants. What about somatologist in the health and beauty industry? I don't know exactly what that field is, but I can almost guarantee that it's not in our list of our approved NOC categories for North Bay RNIP, but you can also apply under the open NOC category if it doesn't fit. But I will look up that code. I don't know if you mean, do you mean a cosmetologist instead of somatologist? But that one is also not under the North Bay RNIP program, but also if you want to still apply, you can apply under the open category. 150 applicants. You say what professions, it doesn't matter. We just have 150 spots open, so it doesn't have to be any specific professions. Are there any accounting positions currently available, NOC B or C? Typically they want a NOC B because it requires education to be an accountant. I don't know of any personally on our website, but I'm sure if you check out online, you'll be able to find some in North Bay. So yeah, if you're looking for a cosmetologist, it is, the code is 6341. So you can check out on our website. And yeah, that one's not under the categories that we have listed, but like I mentioned, you can just apply under the open NOC category. On our webpage, where do I go to search for jobs? So we have at the top, it says employment. If you click that, you can find the jobs that are available through the North Bay RNIP program website. If you don't find what you're looking for there, you can still check out any other job search website. Is this service open to folks outside of Canada? Yes, absolutely. If you're in Canada, you can apply. You don't even need to be in Ontario. If you're outside of Canada, you can also apply. Hey, I need a job. Unfortunately, I don't do the recruiting. You have to find employment yourself. So, like I mentioned just before, you can look up on our website for jobs. I think you're looking for work as a driver. So I'm not sure if you have your DZ license, but yeah, you can look anywhere online for jobs. Doesn't have to be just on our website. And then another frequently asked question, can I give you a site? I think you mean for jobs. I always suggest Indeed or Job Bank. Those are my go-tos. There's Workopolis. There's a whole bunch. If you just look up Canadian job search engines, they'll come up. But I always suggest Indeed and Job Bank. So yeah, once I have all my paperwork in order and the employer has provided their job offer, how do I get my community recommendation? So I mentioned before, I meet with the committee, and they are ultimately the last people who decide if you get your recommendation or not. I'm a mechanical engineer working in the oil and gas sector. I have 8 years of offshore experience. Mechanical engineer, absolutely. If you can find any job here in North Bay for that, definitely apply. And what I happen to know employers. Other than, I think, the 5 positions we have posted on our website right now, I don't know of any other specific jobs, but there's lots online. Call centers, that can be, call centers are always hiring. That can be under our open category. Unfortunately, we do always have a lot of people applying for RNIP working at a call center. So sometimes we do decline only because we have so many people applying from a call center. And are all occupations and skill levels eligible to apply? Not necessarily. They are jobs. We're looking to fill jobs that are in high demand that we can't fill ourselves in North Bay. So like I mentioned before, in the food and retail industry, we aren't taking applicants through that just because we don't have any problems filling those positions in North Bay with individuals from North Bay. But also, as the labor market changes, we might change those categories. I have an associate degree from the US, worked a help desk analyst for RAN status. I'm not sure what an associate's degree would compare to here in Canada, so maybe just check out what that would compare to here. What happens if the job offer I received is expired? Can I start the application process anyway? I'm not sure. Like, have you been offered a job from an employer and they gave an expiration date? Because typically there's no expiration for job offers. But even if you don't have a job offer, you can still start your application. I always suggest waiting until you have everything. I'll just go a couple more minutes, and then if anybody has any more questions, just feel free to check out our website and www.northbayrnip.ca. Up at the top, you'll see contact, a contact tab. And if you go to contact, you will put in your full name, your email, and your question. And I will get that email sent to me, and I will answer it for you. Do I work with immigration consultants? No, I don't work with immigration consultants. We do have one in North Bay. So if you're looking for someone in North Bay, yeah, you can always get You can have an immigration consultant if you're applying for RNIP, but we don't specifically deal with them. But having an immigration consultant can always help you out as well, obviously. So my specific email, it actually doesn't come to my email. If you go onto our North Bay RNIP website, so it's northbayrnip.ca, so northbayrnip.ca. There's a tab up at the top. It says contact right at the end. And that's where you can post your question or inquiry, and it will come to a different email, which I will see. And North Bay, so NORTHBAY, RNIP, RNIP.ca. So I'm going to finish up this live. For anyone kind of joining, you can always, yes, that's our website. You can always go to our website, www.northbayrnip.ca, which is just posted, somebody just posted it below. Everything is explained on our website. If you can't find what you're looking for, or if you need clarification, you can always just go to the contact tab up at the top at the end, and you'll put your full name, your email, and your question, and submit it, and I will see it, and I will answer it for you. So I thank everybody for joining. It was nice to see questions. It was nice to answer questions. Nice to see some interest. So I hope people who have hopped on here will become applicants in the future and make Canada home, or North Bay home. That's what we want, North Bay.